Welcome again guys, wananiita Sultan na ikiwa ni Sumo edition ndani ya Spear Media 254 season 3 episode 2, na leo ndani ya Sumo edition bado niko na my co-host anaitwa.
Yeah, of course it's your girl Skylar. Welcome back. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah. And so today, as I always say, it's a good day. Na kama kawaida ndani ya Sumo edition leo tuko na mwanamke bomba, a mother who has a big heart, a mother to many. Ule amesaidia watu wengi sana, and I think we can call her a heroine.
Yeah, sure.
Uja kusema. Yeah, lakini sasa sipendi kuwa introduce, so acha yeye mwenyewe introduce ni nani.
The introduction, it's just too high up there, but asante sana. Thanks so much for having me, guys. My name is Kelly, and Mina run a organization inaitwa Enlightened Generation International. It's an organization that advocates for children rights and protect their rights as well. So vile tunafanya, tunakuwa kwenye mtaa, tuna make sure watoto wako sawa, watoto wanakuwa wasawa. Like children are not abused and children are not put in situations where they're not supposed to be put in by adult or even by their peers. So that's exactly what we do. And to just give some hope to the society and especially to the children.
So Madam C. Kelly, kwa mtu yote anasikia Enlightened Generation kwa mara ya kwanza, juu kuna yule atasikia kwa mara ya kwanza, unaweza mwambia ni organization ina deal na nini, inaweza msaidia aje juu amesikia kwa mara ya kwanza?
Okay. Kama vile nimesema, tuna deal more na protect and advocate children rights. Tuna make sure mtoi anachungwa, tuna make sure mtoi hakui abused anyway, physically, emotionally, sexually, na ile kitu yetu ya muhimu kabisa ni protect. We try to be proactive. Ile hakuna mtu ambaye ataumiza mtoto, but we are living in a world that is so, we all understand where we are living. So hiyo abuse ikifanyika, because first we map out, tunaona mtoto akona shida gani na mahali mtoto anakuwa exposed, huo mtoto tunajaribu kumweka in a situation where abuse haitafanyika. But mostly ikifanyika, sasa sisi kama Enlightened Generation tunafanya ile kitu ambayo tunaita follow up to make sure ule mtoto kama ni sexual abuse, tunajua anafaa kwenda hospitali within 72 hours because of obvious reasons. Tuna make sure amepata medical treatment. Tuna make sure hiyo report ambayo anapata kutoka kwenye hospitali is a legit one and it's written in a proper way. It's written in a way that we can be able to take to court later, because at some point we'll get to court. Tuna make sure le mtoto amepata psychological support by giving them children counselors who volunteers through our organization. Na pia we have lawyers on pro bono who we work with to make sure that this child gets justice. Na tukienda pale kotini, najua ni story ya state, lakini kuna wakati ingine inafikaga interpretation inakuwa lazima to involve wakili. Tuna make sure mtoto ako na wakili on pro bono. Now the child, after that we follow up on the child for their mental wellness to make sure they don't, the trauma doesn't take them in bad position. So we follow up in schools, we follow up at their homes, again to make sure the children are not being abused. Na wale ambao hawana hiyo kind of support ama wana wazazi is what as an organization now we foster. And nimesikia ukisema mimi mama ya watu wengi, I'm a mother of 13 children who I personally live with in a setup that the government knows about. So hiyo ndio kazi tunafanya.
Okay, and for that matter, where is E.G.I located, and is it does it have branches countrywide ama iko tu Chuka pekee?
Well, our jurisdiction ama mahali ambapo serikali inatuambia tufanye kazi kama CBOs ni within your locality. That is, kama uko kwa hii county ni kwa hiyo county. But what we do is we work with partners. Kama sasa hivi tuko na kesi ya Meru County ambayo ni sisi tuna deal nayo, because sometimes when it comes to humanity you stretch your hand without boundaries. So but now we have to work with the children office there. We have to work with a partner, but utapata in one county partner mmoja hana uwezo ya maybe it's a serial defilement. Kama sasa huyu ni msichana wa 13 years tunaongelelea ambaye anajifungua anytime from now, maybe she doesn't have a facility, the partner there. So kama sasa si tunamchukua through the children office, anakuja hapa, God ametubless tuko na hospitali mzuri hapa, referral hospital, anaenda pale anajifungua, then namchukua for some time, namweka in the facility, then anaweza rudi kwa. So we work in different counties, but because we have partners there. But our jurisdiction is Tharaka Nithi.
So actually, Kelly, when did E.G.I start, and what was the reason behind E.G.I, and what actually motivates you to run such an organization?
Children have been, I think, I'm told since I was a small girl, I always wanted to be around children and try to make sure they're, my peers, I could even give them whatever, wale walikuwa chini yetu, I would give whatever I had. I think it's something that was very deep-rooted and in me, that is very deep-rooted in me. And I keep telling people, my maternal grandmother had 12 children, but there's no single day she served less than 25 plates. Alikuwa naekelea sahani, anaserve. So I think I kind of got that nurturing of children from her, but it's a passion that I honestly would not even describe to say where it started. But E.G.I was registered like 6 years ago when we decided, because I was advised by one of my lawyer friends, and she said, you're doing so much for the society, you've not registered anything, it's good you do it in an orderly manner. So we registered in 6 years, but that doesn't mean we've worked for 6 years, we've worked for longer. So how we started is the penetration way was actually to go to schools, have a mentorship program with schools, tell the children why they should not have sex at their age, what to do in case anybody is defiling them, what are the risks they're exposing themselves, and in case somebody is actually doing it, defiling them or abusing them, they should come out and be able to speak, because there are consequences. And I know from the schools, after I sit back, children now would come and tell me, Auntie Kelly, this is happening. Huyu ananifanyia hivi. We have like 16 cases that I've personally dealt with where biological fathers are the ones who are sleeping with their daughters. We have cases where, including in my facility, we have boys who've been sodomized by people very close to them. And like my acting last born, I would call him that because I keep getting children all the time. He got sodomized by an uncle. He was 4 years. The guy was 37 years old. And you can tell that abuse amongst children in our community is something nobody wants to talk about it, but it's still happening. So I decided, what's the worst that can happen? Why can't I just come out strong and speak about, and for these children? The child is voiceless to some extent because mtoto hajui kwa chief ni wapi, mtoto hajui kwa karau ni wapi, mtoto hajui nimeambia mama amesema ninyamaze. So does that baby sit there and just keep getting abuse all the time? And so I realized, somebody must do this thing. And that someone is not anyone else. I decided I'm going to speak about it. I got so much hatred, as much as, we got love and hate, same equal measure. But I said the best I can do is to stand for these children and let me do this and do it big time. The jobs I was doing at that point, I stopped and I concentrated on E.G.I.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you've encountered some challenges when you are running this organization. Give us at least 2 main challenges.
Well, the biggest challenge, as I said, you don't expect everybody just because you're working so hard to save the children to be your friend, because usisahau kuna wale wenye in the process watafungwa. Of course, if you are a pedophile, we really don't care who you are, because we have to really push for it for you to be kukua mahali unafaa kukua, that is jela. So you can imagine the family of this person that is left, wataachwa wanakuchukia, wanaachwa wana feel some certain kind of way, kama si huyu mama, watoto hawangeingia ndani, mtu wetu hangeingia ndani. And we've experienced a lot of animosity sometimes from the society. One hand umeshikilia mtoi unamsave, the other hand unapigana nao na society ambayo inakuuliza huyu mtoto okay ameripiwa, yes, but hajaumia, kwa hivyo kwa nini unapeleka mtu ndani? Some will not even understand. As high as even in hospitals, we've had cases where mtoi anaenda na bwana medic, where hujaumia enda home. That time mtu hajakuwa covered in terms of kumpatia PEP in case of HIV, hajakuwa covered antibiotic, hajakuwa covered anyway. Na sababu ile msee hataki kukua ni yako involved na hii kesi ya shindage kwenda kotini, anachorea ile story, anakuwa by the way mimi sita deal na huyu na hii situation. So that's why we have to keep pushing and pushing. One hand tunashikilia mtoi, hand ingine tunapigana nayo na society na people who don't want to even to want to imagine that mtoi ako in a place kukua saved. The other one, of course, job yetu sometimes it needs a lot of financial muscle to run around, mtoi amerepiwa dharaka, sasa yuko hapa, lazima mtoi aende hosi, kuna zile dawa ambazo anahitaji, sometimes my hospitali hazina. So the financial bit is also quite heavy on us. And the fact that I live with some children, I've told you I live with 13 of them, of course, feeding them, making sure they go to school, giving them basic need, because our core business is to make sure those children are well protected, are in schools, because I tell them the only way I make your lives in such a way that you dine with the presidents and the kings is for me taking you to school. And I have to take them to schools. I have to make sure they are fed. I have to make sure they have a shelter. I have to make sure the child lives like a proper, regular child. The money bit comes in, but God will come through, and we've come this far because I believe He believes on what we do, and He keeps blessing us on it.
Yeah. Amen. So actually, apart from challenges, kuna challenges, obviously kuna benefits. So what are some of the benefits that you've encountered with EGI that you yourself realized you're really doing something good for the society?
When we thought that boy who's in this mess of being sodomized, imagine every night kuna msee anaku abuse. And you're not, because watu hawawezi consent to sex. So kuna wakati huyu mtu anatoka kwenye anatoka na whatever anafeel, anakuja kudefile. It's too much torture for this child. The biggest moment that we get is that time we are able to sort that child, and the child is now being a regular child. Because as I'm saying, my adopted son, fostered, when he came, he could not even play with other children. He took an entire 6 months before he said the name mom, before he called me mom, because he tells me that mom gave him so much pain, because mamake alimwacha, na kama hakumwacha hangedifailiwa. So ukiona sasa mtoto amefika to a place he can say the name mom, he can play with others, he can own, like when I get him a toy and he's like, this is mine, it gives me so much joy. Last year we had a case where mtu alikuwa ameachanishwa kabisa. Actually, nakumbuka hiyo time I was really struggling, and I made sure this boy went to Mary school. That boy is out with an entire B+, a clean B+. Now you can imagine, Mungu akiweza kublesu mse, kwa sasa hii campus material, aingie kampo, apate job yake mzuri, akuwe na familia yake poa, asaidie watu wengine. That's an entire generation that has been sorted, And I keep telling my children, because I talk to them a lot, I tell them, you know what? Mimi, I'm giving you just one assignment, and that's the only way I want you to ever say thank you to me. When you're grown, when you have your job, I'm giving you just 3 children. Out of 15, 13 children that I live with, they have 3 more kids. How much is that? You guys are schooling 13 by 3?
13 by 3 is 39.
We're talking about 39. 39 children that have been sorted one time in one generation. Not like my children are just 13, they will grow. Because my goal is to, every time at our home, because we're trying to build up a rescue center, to have at least 50 children. So imagine every time 50 by, again, 3, that's 150. So we're talking about in another 50 years, we should not be having the issues we are having as Kenyan. And it's just one tree that is branching all this. So that gives me a lot of joy.
Okay. That's nice. So far from all that, we have 5 hot questions we are going to ask you. The first one goes, who is your best content creator?
In which area? Fashion or what?
I would say general.
I think my head directly goes to Joy Kendi.
Okay.
I love her confidence, her fashion sense, and just who she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next question. If you were to be the president of Kenya for only one day, what will you change?
I'll make sure every county has a working, 1, rescue center, 2, rehabilitation center, and just a place for children to be. I'll give roots to a country that respects children, knowing that these children are our future.
Okay, mtu akakuuliza sahi kati ya bei ya mafuta na bei ya unga ni gani unataka ishuke? Ungechagua gani?
Aki washukishe tu mafuta. Mafuta tu. My kids love watching YouTube channels and making whatever they get, and unfortunately they are always making those fried things, you know, those deep fried. I think they will enjoy more with the mafuta.
And so Steve-O Simple Boy happened to have a girlfriend known as Pretty Vichy, although now she's now the ex-girlfriend. Do you know Pretty Vichy, and are you related in any way?
Of course not. We are not. But I find her to be such a bubble of warmth, and I really admire her. Not like any other way, but her confidence. But Josie, I saw her breakdown because people say she's ugly. People say I don't think she's ugly. She's such a gorgeous woman. She just needs to know who she is. And
okay, give us your. Oh, nimekatiza my host. Give us your best high school moment.
My best high school moment was, of course, kwenda hizo trips. I loved being in drama. Unfortunately, I can't dance, I can't sing, so I was not in them. But whenever I managed to go, I totally enjoyed, because of course, you're beautiful, you know. You used to really, I've always been this person who loves being around people, so those are my best moments.
Okay.
Wow. So finally, actually, utaambia nini mtu wako hapo nje, someone who will watch you, someone who is watching you, utamwambia nini kuhusu E.G.I na kuhusu C.K.E.O.E.G.I as a person that they do not know?
C.K.E.O.E.G.I as a person, maybe I can start with that because I'm more familiar with myself, is people don't know I'm actually a very introverted person. Like, I love just chilling. I get mental overloads very fast. And as much as I like being around people, it gets to a point I just want to pull out immediately and just be in my space. So I can be very introverted. About E.G.I, what people don't know about E.G.I is E.G.I made me a presidential awardee. I mean, it's not something shady, you know. An entire president recognizing your effort is quite something. So E.G.I, fortunately has fought, because it kept getting overridden by C.K.E.O.E.G.I, if you know what I mean. People kept saying, in organization ya C.K.E.O.E.G.I, nobody was talking about E.G.I. But at least I feel now that it has fought. It's maybe with some muscle. And people now are able to say enlightened generation and to ring a bell. Kitambo people never used to associate. So I think those are the things.
Wow. So actually, talking of the presidential award, that's really a good step. That's a good step. Bravo.
Thank you.
I'll ask the photographer, the cameraman, to focus so that people can know that C.K.E.O.E.G.I is actually doing things. Every good deed is awarded. Hata Bible inasema.
Yeah, so that's a presidential award. The others are certificates of appreciation, of participation. We have that from Standard as well. They gave us an entire two-page. Standard gave us a 2-page. And that's also, I think, is such a good, it was a good, I felt nice.
Yeah, and that has been all for today with our Madam Boss here, Madam C.K.E.O.E.G.I.
Thank you.
It was nice interviewing you.
Amazing.
It was such a vibe.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course comment. What do you think about E.G.I? Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you so much.
Skylar.
Yeah man, mazee, yani tushakatinga, tumekafunga. So in the meantime, thank you so much C.K.E.O.E.G.I, the CEO E.G.I. Actually, personally, I love to work with E.G.I from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much.
C.K.E.O.E.G.I in a lot of events. She's really cheerful. People like her a lot. So guys, this is how we tell you: like, subscribe, share, and watch. Just click on the notification bell. It's your boy MC Sultan.
when
Bye.
we're out.
Thank you so much. I hope you interview me again.
Yeah.
And not on work. Let's work. Let's talk about fashion. Let's talk about things. I love those things.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
again,
Plus
so
size
we talk
fashion.
about weekend. Let's go and have some nyama.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm always talking about, unfortunately, my job is very sad. So when I keep talking about it, people are like, so next time let's do something.
It's okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having
Bye.
me. Yeah.